A few months ago I made a pair of fluffy trousers. These were meant to be just normal house trousers that I could wear inside, do cleaning and all those kind of things. Turns out I wear that pair so often that I'm kind of sad whenever it's in the wash. So I have decided to make another, and this time they're not fluffy, but they're delicious. This is the fabric I have. This is coming from a store that's going out of business, so they had a final sale. And I've been eyeing this for quite a while. It's sushi. I love sushi. I'm gonna take you with me on this, project, because it's not really an adventure anymore since I've done it before. And I'm using this fabric. I have 1.5 meters, depending on your size you need more or less. I usually can get away with about 1 meter, so I have some extra. I might make a shirt out of it. I have some extra fabric here. This is just black stretchy fabric that I'll probably make some details out of for the pockets, just some lining, just to make it stand out a little bit more. I do advise stretch fabrics for this, at least like a one-way stretch, just to make it more comfortable. You need pins, you need scissors. I have a pair of snips and a pair of fabric scissors. This is elastic for the waistband. I always recommend to put elastic in waistbands just to make them a little bit tighter, a little bit more snug. Fits better. This is for my waistband. It's kind of a rib. And this has been pre-cut and pre-finished, but if I fold it in half, which is kind of what you want because you want a casing for the waistband, it's just wide enough for this to fit through. I also used it for the cuffs of the leg. I have a pen to potentially draw on the fabric with because I might make them a little bit slimmer and shorter. I have 2 sewing machines ready. That's a normal machine with a stretch stitch. That's the overlocker both with black thread. If you don't have an overlocker, you could use a normal machine with a stretch stitch. Most modern machines do have that nowadays. Otherwise, a shallow zigzag also works. Just to have on hand. I have, in case I need to do any hand sewing, I have a thimble, always ready. Needles are on there. Show them to you. There are my needles. And I also have a seam ripper. These are a few tools that I keep handy with me during projects because you'll always come across at least one seam that you have to unpick. I almost forgot, a soft tape measure and a ruler is also both very handy to have. You also need a pattern, and I'm gonna get that one out now. Before I start cutting into my fabric, I'm going to measure this outer edge and that edge because I want to edge those with some black fabric just to make the pockets stand out more. Since it's a very busy print, I fear the pockets will kind of fall away if I top stitch them on without anything outlining them, so I'm giving them an outline. My pattern includes all seam allowances. If you use a commercial pattern, please check which seam allowances. If you use a net pattern, make sure you add seam allowances whilst cutting or when tracing. Just know that I'm cutting across the paper line and not away from it because it's already there. Alright, now everything has been cut out and I'm gonna start with the pocket because I want to put that on the front first before I start sewing anything together. I've got my little strips here and this is what I'm gonna start with. So what I'm going to do is just simply fold it in half and it'll be stitched on right there. I'm gonna pin it down now just a little bit because I'm gonna do this without pins. They're gonna get in the way. In the end, fold it inside and that's what you get. A little edge there just to make it stand out a bit more. And I'm gonna stitch right there with the normal machine just to make sure that it'll stay in place. that is without the outline edging, and that is with. Okay, it's a scrap piece, but still, that is so much more noticeable, and I love the way it looks. So I'm gonna put this on first before I'm gonna go do further construction, which I will do after dinner. Alright, pockets are officially on. I think I'm gonna give it a quick press and then start basting around here just to keep them in place. And after that is on to the actual construction of the trousers, which means I'm going to sew the side seams. And after that, it's gonna be putting on the cuff. Okay, now to attach the cuff to the bottom of the trousers, I have narrowed down the bottom by 3 centimeters on each side because I felt like it was a little too wide and it also didn't necessarily fit the cuff. So what I do first is I fold them in half because that's how I'm gonna attach them, and I pin it down. And I'm folding it on that seam line to find kind of the other edge, put a pin to mark that, and I'm gonna put those 2 pins together to find quarters. Mark those points, and now this is ready to be sewn on. Now I'm going to prepare the bottom of the trousers kind of the same way. The only difference is since the back of it is a little wider than the front, I'm gonna bring the sides together. And that's where I'm gonna put the thickest part of the cuff. I usually don't like putting those where the seam is because then the sewing machine has to go through a lot at once. Now I'm matching up all of the pins. You could add elastic in these cuffs if you like. I usually don't really need it. I find it fits fine without. But if you want kind of a tighter fit around your ankle, go ahead, put elastic in. I always do that before actually putting them together at the crotch because I find that easier. And then I can put on the waist. To put the 2 legs together, a simple way of doing it, putting one outside out, keep the other inside out, and then put the outside out inside the inside out. And that way you have them right sides together. And now you basically pin this and then sew it. Now that is sewn. Look how perfectly that lines up. What we're gonna do now is the waistband elastic. I know I have a 68 centimeter waist, so I'm gonna take 10% off, which is technically 6.8, and then add 2 centimeters as seam allowance. Now before cutting, I am going to try it. I'm gonna add 1 centimeter anyway, just to make it a little bit more comfortable. Now what I like to do is put a zigzag over that side and then on the inside do the same. Elastic is ready, waistband's ready, trousers are ready. I'm going to fold this in half, put this one in here, and then on the sides, or what will be the sides, most probably, I'm going to put a zigzag. Okay, learn from my mistake, don't do that. I just broke a needle. The needle has been located. It actually hit my forehead. Luckily I'm wearing glasses, so it cannot really hit my eyes or something, but sewing can be dangerous, so be careful about that. I have part sewn. Kind of went wrong here. I've taken the elastic out. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stretch it up as much as I can. I've got the machine set up again, needle replaced, and I'm just gonna leave a small opening. Seems like this is a good spot for it, and insert the elastic in a normal way. It's unfortunately now not really possible anymore to divide it up because this has already been scrunched up a bit, so I just need to now eyeball it basically. One final zigzag to stop the waistband from twisting, and of course the very final step of an attempt at removing the basting. And now they're finished. Okay, they're finished. I'm very happy with them. They are very, very funky, but I'm absolutely in love with this. If I can, I'm gonna see if I can go back before the store closes. I'm gonna get another ½ meter and probably make a pair of shorts because I'm in absolute love with this fabric and I want a pair of shorts of it as well. I hope you liked it. It was a little chaotic because I decided to try something stupid. But I hope you can learn from my mistakes so you won't make them. If you liked it, please let me know. Give it a like. If you want to see future projects of mine, subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one.